Have you had a Gen Z colleague whip through the task, pull up 10 online resources in a few seconds, or explain a concept or a term that you've never heard of before? And suddenly, in that room, you feel like a dinosaur. Well, here's the truth. Gen Zs are outpacing prior generations in key areas. And as leaders, you have two choices: fight it or leverage it. Today, I'll show you 6 areas where they are absolutely ahead of you and how you can use that to your advantage. Because if you don't understand their strengths, you will be missing out on some of the best talent and ideas in your entire organization. Number 1, digital fluency. They don't just use tech, they have mastered it. Gen Z grew up in the internet and mobile first era. They instinctively know how to find, analyze, and apply information at lightning speeds. They don't want to be known as the hardworking generation. They want to be known as the smart one. So, how to leverage this as a leader? Well, instead of dictating old age tools for them, ask for their inputs. Hey, what's the fastest way to streamline this process? What tools do you think we can leverage to turn this around in the least amount of time? Empower them to find new technological solutions instead of forcing old methods. Assign them as innovation scouts to bring new ideas to the table for your department. Instead of trying to fight that smartness, why not let them help you become more efficient? Area number 2, attention hacking. They know what grabs and holds engagement. You see, Gen Z grew up with social media algorithms fighting for its attention. They instinctively know what makes people stop, click, and engage. They understand smaller words, short form of expressions, and even know how to create new terms that will stick out there. How can you leverage this as a leader? Well, for starters, let them help craft out internal communications, emails, presentations, team updates. Ask them, if we were marketing this to your generation, how would you frame it? Or if you were to send this to your friends in a way that they will never forget, how would you go about it? Involve them in social media branding and culture building strategies. Ask them to speed test the ideas on a bunch of their peers to receive instant feedback on your product or marketing. If this generation can make a 10-second video go viral by using just their phones, imagine what they can do for your company's engagement when they are truly empowered and supported. They may fail in some areas, but they don't mind taking risk, which is a great combination if you know. Area number 3, value-driven work. Gen Z prioritizes purpose-driven work. They want to know that their job matters beyond just profits. They really care about sustainability, diversity, and ethical business practices more than the previous generations. So how can you leverage this as a leader? Connect the mission of the company to their daily task. Something like, with this new campaign, we will rewrite the rules of how D2C brands can leverage clever marketing with minimum budgets. State the company's motto and purpose often to them. Involve or let them champion CSR activities. They will be the most passionate advocates there. Use their perspectives to align company policies with modern values to attract more talent. Ensure when HR creates a new committee for a policy, you have diverse group of people, which definitely should include Gen Zs. They don't want to clock in and clock out. They want to make a difference. Give them that opportunity and they will be your most driven employees on these subjects. Before I tell you the next area, I have a request. This is a new channel, just 20 days old. Your subscription means a lot more than you can imagine. If you find value through these videos, then please subscribe and I will do my best to continue to sharing more such content in future. Area number 4, hyper collaboration. Gen Z is naturally collaborative, using Teams, Slack, Notion, and Instagram kind of apps as their second nature. They don't wait for top-down directions. They build, co-create, and iterate faster than previous generations. I can tell you personally how many times I have seen people emailing PowerPoint presentations back and forth to each other when it could be actually placed in the cloud and rapidly 2 or 3 people can work on it simultaneously. Gen Zs avoid making this mistake. In fact, they may get very annoyed if you don't collaborate through such working tools. So how can you leverage this as a leader? Well, put them in charge of streamlining workflows for team collaboration. Use them to bridge communication gaps between departments. They will help you break the silos. Assign them as cross-functional team liaisons. They will naturally bring out people together digitally. Area number 5, ethical consumer mindset. They spot red flags instantaneously. Gen Z is hyper-aware of corporate responsibilities. They see through the marketing fluff and expect real action on sustainability, diversity, and transparency. They can be great predictors of how decision can be perceived by the customers, employees, and media before the leadership does. So how can you leverage this as leaders? Use them as ethical litmus tests for company policies, branding, and PR moves. Assign them to diversity and sustainability or social impact committees. They genuinely care. Give them a seat at the leadership discussion when making major brand reputation discussions. Ask if this decision was made public, how would you react to it? Area 6, fast learning and adaptability. Gen Z is constantly learning from online resources, YouTube, and social media, and traditional degrees are no longer the gold standards. They expect rapid skill building and are willing to learn multiple disciplines at once. How can you leverage this as leader? Well, encourage self-learning by giving them new tools to study, experiment, learn from it, and present it back to you as pros and cons. Let them cross-train in various departments. They thrive on variety. They can become the best workforce you need when the moment of team becomes necessary for various projects. Instead of hiring based on degrees, hire based on ability to learn and adapt. Look for signs of diversity of learning in various fields. So look, you can resist the change or you can harness it. Gen Z isn't here to replace you. They are here to help guide you into a future that you will co-create with them. The leaders who thrive will be the ones who don't just manage Gen Zs but learn from them and step together into this future successfully. So here's my challenge for you today. This week, ask a Gen Z colleague for their insight on something. Ask them to do a project or a research or digital tool implementation across the company, or invite them for the next marketing brainstorm meeting. You will be surprised as how much they have to teach and share with you. And on the other hand, they will feel valued because of your actions and enjoy working for an organization like this. Win, win, win. Well, if this video gave you a new perspective, hit that like button and share it with a boomer or a millennial and drop a comment below. What one lesson or a term that you have learned from a Gen Z recently at work? Let's talk in the comments. I'll see you in the next video.